Beautiful Anonymous changes each week. It defies genres and expectations. For example, our most recent episode, I talked to a woman who survived a murder attempt by her own son. But just the week before that, we just talked the whole time about Star Trek. We've had other recent episodes about sexting in languages that are not your first language, or what it's like to get weight loss surgery. It's unpredictable, it's real, it's honest, it's raw. Get Beautiful Anonymous wherever you listen to podcasts.
Welcome back to Still a Part of Us. I've just had a wonderful conversation with Heather about her daughter Nora, and it was just everything. Like, if you get a chance, please listen to it. It broke my heart. So, but Heather, I'm glad that you're here today talking to us some more. So if you can can you tell us a little bit about Nora, what happened to her, and how long ago she was born at the time of this recording?
Absolutely. Nora was stillborn at 38 weeks, 1 day gestation, due to a funic presentation of a cord prolapse. When my water broke, her head fell onto the cord, and the funic presentation is like a headband of the umbilical cord, and it got pinched, and she passed shortly after. About 3 or so hours later, she was born.
And she was born earlier this year.
Yes. She was born, her birthday is January 16th, 2025.
Yeah, and at the time of this recording, we're just recording in August here, so it's not even 9 months since it's 8 months or so since she passed away. So thank you for coming on. I'm always blown away by families that feel comfortable and want to share their baby with us so soon after they have lost their baby. So, but I really want you to listen. I cannot encourage you enough to listen to her episode, because you're going to be sitting there with your mouth open like, what just happened? So Heather, I wanted to ask you how the last few months have been. Tell us what that grief has looked like for you, what that journey has looked like for you thus far. I know it's very fresh still. So can you tell us what that looks like for you?
Yeah, we came home from the hospital same day, and thankfully had a lot of our family rally around us. But the first probably 2 weeks, I had a hard time falling asleep.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to wake up and it be another day without her. I remember waking up and just before even taking a breath, I would just start crying. I did a lot of journaling in the first couple of weeks, and I journaled as if I was talking to Nora, and it helped me feel like I was still with her in those first few weeks.
Yeah.
And in my situation, I didn't fully understand why that type of cord prolapse happens, if it was the position I was in when my water broke, or if we could have known that the cord was in the way if I would have had a cervical check the day before she was born. So I had a lot of self-blaming. And it wasn't until after my 6 week appointment, when I asked my doctor all of the questions, that I gave myself permission to start grieving Nora and stop being upset with myself.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing anyone did or could have done.
Yeah. But it is so easy to blame yourself, to blame your body, to say that you failed in some way, you failed your child in some way, and that is a that is a very normal reaction. I feel like that I've encountered as I've talked to a lot of other moms. So when you say that you felt like you gave yourself permission to start grieving her, how do you feel like you've gone through those different phases? Or
So it's hard with having a living daughter that understands what's going on. Because right when I think I'm having a good day, I get hit with something that she's thinking of. And to navigate some of the questions and innocent questions, innocent statements that she has had um, would sometimes make me take a few steps back in my grief journey. I think one of the ones that she asked me was, next time I have a baby, can I not move so the cord doesn't get in the way?
Oh,
And very, very sweet, because then she'll
yes.
follow it up and be like, I'll bring you breakfast in bed so you don't have to move.
Oh,
She's very special, very caring, but it's her way of expressing disappointment.
yeah.
And that's a big part of my grief, is just disappointment too. After our family left, they stayed for about a week, 6 days to a week. It was really odd having an empty house.
After.
And I remember dropping my daughter off at daycare and just completely losing it on the way home, because I was supposed to have a crying baby in the back of the car. Like,
Yeah.
silence was a trigger that I never really expected. I started going to therapy weekly. At this point, I was doing bi-weekly throughout the pregnancy.
Yeah.
Started going through it weekly. Me and my husband we were going to couples therapy before, and the day after Nora died, our couples therapist met with us.
Okay.
So we were able to get in with her, and we just, from the beginning, we sought help, because this is nothing that we could have imagined. So definitely going to therapy was a big part of it. And one of the things that my therapist helped me figure out is finding an outlet for my love, because my arms would physically hurt because I didn't have anything in them.
Yes.
My sister made me a stuffed bunny that was Nora's exact weight when she was born. And because my sister's a labor and delivery nurse, she made it at work.
She
And she
did.
had she had some of the doctors like suture the arms
Oh
back
my
on
gosh.
after she's stuffed it. And she did a whole like photo shoot of this bunny in like the bed that babies get put on after they're born. So that still brings me a lot of comfort to
Yeah.
hold that. And my daughter would carry it around. Um, yeah, on top of having that, I had a lot of struggle with me knowing she was real, my husband knowing she was real, and my dad and sister got a couple minutes with her at the funeral home before she got cremated, but no one else got to meet her.
Yeah.
So I really struggled with, she had a life. She was alive, and no
Yeah.
one else can see that. So my therapist helped me find a way to make her life be visible.
Yeah.
I crochet, so I made a pregnancy blanket for her, and I did it like a temperature blanket, where it's every row is
Oh
like
yes.
either the high or low temperature for
For
a
that day.
day.
Uh-huh.
I did that for every day that I was pregnant with her, and then I switched up the stitches for anything that we got to experience together. So every gestational month is a different stitch. Every sonogram that we got was a different stitch.
Cool.
Fetal echoes. So it's her whole life and everything that we got to experience together in a blanket.
Oh my
And it
goodness.
just shows that like she had a long life. It was, I think, 147 days.
Yeah.
She had a long life, and she had events. She did things like,
Yeah.
it that gave me something to do, something to put love into,
Yeah.
uh, something that made her more real.
Yeah. I did not, that was something that I struggled with too when, because my family, thankfully, some of them got to meet our son, but it was hard to have, yeah, coworkers and friends who didn't get to meet him. Yeah, I was like, I promise he was real. Like I was holding him. I grew him. Like, and yeah, I think you put it really beautifully that like he's a concept, like your baby is a concept for a lot of people that didn't physically see him or see her or hold her.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's something of a struggle. And then also, I love that your therapist suggested finding an outlet to put your love into. And I just think I hope you have a picture of that blanket that you can share with us, because I am sure that it is
Yeah,
beautiful and really cool what you did
yeah,
for Nora.
absolutely.
So with your couples counseling, what have were there any other things that your couples counselor suggested for you to be able to help process the grief together as a couple and then even separately as you guys are navigating this? Because I assume your husband is really different in the way he grieves from you, because that's a pretty common theme when we talk to different families.
Yeah, that was hard for us to navigate, that we grieved so differently.
Mhm.
And that was a big thing that our couples therapist helped us work through. Because we would go days where I'm like, well, no one brought up Nora. Like,
Mhm.
it's not that we're not thinking of her. It's just kind of like, I wonder how he's doing. Like, he's quiet. So we wound up doing a nightly meeting.
Oh,
And it was like our Nora meeting,
oh,
where throughout the day we could talk about, like, oh, this happened and made me think of her. So it was more of like a dedicated time and space for us to connect about our baby.
yeah, that's really great, actually.
Yeah. And it gave us that permission to have the rest of the day to just grieve how we individually needed to and not worry about the other person, because we knew that we would have that time in the evening.
Just to
And
check in.
our schedules are very busy, so sometimes it was once a every day, sometimes it was like once a week, but we always made sure that we had time. We used that, and also our grief group. It meets once a month and we
Oh,
go there,
okay.
and we haven't missed it since we started. So we started that in February, actually. So 2 weeks,
Just right
or
after.
yeah, 2 weeks maybe.
Is that just a local support group at the
Yeah.
hospital, or some that are other couples that have experienced some sort of loss?
Yeah, it's a local therapy center, but they partner with the hospital. So it was one of the resources that we got, and it has been really helpful. And I like it because couples show up. It's not just all women. So
Yeah,
my husband gets a lot out of it too.
yeah,
And there's a labor and delivery nurse and also grief counselor that kind of tag team and come together.
that is great. Because there are some places that do not have any sort of resources like that. So that's awesome. What are some things that you've taken away from that grief support group?
Advocacy.
Mm,
Always advocate for yourself. It's a big one.
yeah.
And being unapologetic about your grief is a big one
Mm.
too.
Tell me
That
more about that.
we don't have to hide our grief because it makes other people uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like, it's our life, it's what we're going through, and it's real. And us being so unapologetic or vulnerable in our grief, I look at it with my family too.
Mm.
Society doesn't know what to do with grief. It's uncomfortable, it's not accepted, it's kind of shied away from. That's where you get those all meaning well comments, but
Yep.
hardly ever are the way taken the way that they are meant to be.
Yeah.
I, with my family, like, nobody's my family and friend group, nobody has been through anything like this. Nobody knows what to do, how to navigate it. And being so open with my grief, I think, is also a gift to them, to learn what grief looks like, how to grieve, that it's okay to be with family and having a good time and then be crying the next second.
Yeah.
And that there's happiness within grief. It's not grief to me isn't all bad feelings.
Yeah. And they can be with I forget, I tell people, like, I was like, the word "and" is a great word because you can be sad and happy and frustrated and all these things kind of at the same time. I like how you've said that it's been helpful for your family too, to be able to see that it can coincide, and you can be having a good time and crying the next, and and that's okay.
Yeah. And there's no right words.
Yeah.
There's nothing that anyone can say that would make me feel better or make Nora be alive.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's as simple as just sitting next to me, holding my hand while I cry.
Yeah.
Just being a presence.
Yeah. That is in itself is comforting. Yeah, I think people don't realize how simple that is. Like, it's
Yeah.
just so simple and so kind just to be there and to be able to sit with that discomfort, because it is uncomfortable for people. It is. But it's okay to be uncomfortable, I think.
I
Um,
will say that I did, after Nora passed, one of the books that the hospital gave us was titled When Hello Means Goodbye. And they have a couple other books on grief and the loss of infants.
mhm.
And they had one for grandparents. So me and my husband did take it upon ourselves to mail it to both of our parents
Yeah.
or all of our parents and just be like, you need to read this because I'm trying to navigate my own grief. I don't know if I have like the emotional capacity to also help walk you through that too.
Yeah.
So we emailed that out, or not emailed, we sent it out.
Yeah.
Everyone got an Amazon package, and they were very thankful because they didn't know what to do either. And it did take that responsibility of having to help other people know what to do, what to say off of us while we were also trying to figure out what to do and what to say.
Yeah. Did you feel like that they were struggling a lot on? So one of the books I've read that is interesting was talking about the grief and the person that is grieving, and the folks on the outside should be helping the people inside. And so, were you finding that? Were you doing a bit of comforting of your parents, your parents? Was that something that you were trying to navigate instead of having them comfort you? I don't know if that makes any sense.
No, I understand. I think a little bit of both.
Okay.
I did want to bring them some comfort because we lost our child, they lost a
Poor child.
grandchild too, and there is a lot of pain in that. But also, selfishly, I didn't want to have to put the emotional effort into
Hmm.
teaching how I needed to be
Oh, I gotcha.
given back to.
Yes.
So that's kind of why we sent out the books on like, read this. It tells you how to interact with us without us having to be the one
Yeah.
because we just were numb.
Yeah.
We weren't able to help anyone else navigate how to show up for us at
Yeah.
that time.
Yes. It really does feel like people just want a handbook. Like, just tell me
Yeah.
how to show up, and that is great that you did that because people, they're probably like, "Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you for showing up that way."
Mhm.
You talked earlier in your other interview about Nora's birth, that after you found out that she no longer had a heartbeat, that your husband was very angry. He was kept pointing out that you had been asking to be induced for a number of weeks already, and because of your previous kind of trauma with your first pregnancy. And so, can you tell me about how anger plays a part in grief, and how that has looked for you guys as a couple, and maybe even separately?
This shouldn't have happened. It never, baby shouldn't die.
Yeah.
Um, and when it does happen to us, it felt like an injustice. Like we had a miscarriage, and then we lost a twin with our living daughter, and then we had a perfectly healthy pregnancy. And because we drew a short straw, our daughter's no longer living anymore. It's an injustice and it's unfair, and there's nothing anyone can do about it. And that loss of control, it can be debilitating. And feeling like you could do all the right things and it still won't matter in the end. Anger definitely plays a huge role in that. For my husband, and not to speak too much for him, I know he's going to be on here himself, but he was seeing how uncomfortable I was. He was seeing that I was upset because I couldn't be the mom that I wanted to be to my daughter towards the last month, and I couldn't move very much. I wasn't sleeping. And to know that I was advocating for myself to try to be induced and it wasn't received, and then for the end result to be that her daughter died, I think that it was just the perfect storm of feeling out of control and being angry because there's nothing that anyone could have done.
Yeah.
For me, I wasn't able to feel angry for a really long time. I was more just disappointed, and anger I felt like I needed someone or something to point the anger at in order to feel it.
Yeah.
And in our situation, there wasn't anything. It just happened. So something that my therapist has recently, because this is very recent that I'm starting to try to navigate my anger within grief, she recommended getting ice and throwing ice to try to get your anger out.
Yeah.
And I went to go to a splatter room with my sister and just threw paint.
Yeah.
So just finding outlets and that I can feel anger through that doesn't feel destructive or like it takes away from Nora.
Yeah. I have heard of, smash rooms and
Mm-hmm.
other things where I think one mom here on our podcast, her aunt took her out and there was a big piece of wood and she gave her a bat and said, I'll see you in a half an hour or an hour and do the damage you need to. And sometimes the anger comes out in like a physical, it's nice to be able to express it in a physical way, and throwing ice, that's not a bad idea.
My dad actually gave my husband an axe now that I think about it.
Oh, really? Go chop some wood down. Yeah, that is tricky. And I wanted to circle back because you said that you try to be unapologetic about your grief. And I love that. I love that so much. What are some ways that you feel like that manifests itself, or how you are unapologetic in your grief?
So part of it is that I cry when I feel like I need to cry. I don't hide the fact that I had Nora at all.
Yeah.
I know for some, and for me in the beginning too, is like, how many kids do you have? And it feels a little awkward because it's like, well, how emotionally are you ready to take on this baggage?
Yeah.
So for me, I always mention her when I have somebody ask me that question.
Yeah.
I'm also an adjunct professor, and we just had a meeting, and we were all introducing ourselves, saying like how many dogs we have, kids, their ages, and I was just like, I have 2 daughters, one's 3.5, the other one would be 7 months, and just kind of making it a part of my everyday.
Yeah.
I have a tattoo that I got for her with her name, and it's right on my arm, so anybody that sees it will know. And I have one for my other daughter too. It's my family tattoos. Her nickname was Beanie when she was a kid. So
Beanie
she has a bean
bit.
sprout.
I mean, like, how adorable.
Beanie and bacon bit. I was gonna get a slice of bacon on me for Nora, but I wound up getting something a little bit different. I was like, I don't know if I could have beans and bacon on my arm.
That would be really funny, actually.
But also, if I'm just having a hard day, I tell people I work with kids, so sometimes there's extra triggers. And
Yeah.
it is something that whenever I am working on a case with somebody else, I let them know about it because it, it's a part of me.
Yeah.
And it does impact how I interact in the world, but it's not a part that I want to hide or I think that I really should.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I do like that you let the person that you're working with know, because that gives them permission to be like, oh, okay, I am aware now, and it doesn't have to be weird, because I feel like a little bit of knowledge and helps with respecting what you're going through. Okay, a couple of other things I wanted to cover. Your daughter Andy, you've alluded to her, you've talked about her a lot, and she sounds pretty awesome. What are you doing as a family to make sure she feels, I mean, she already sounds like she does tons of things, but um, about talking about her, or other things that you do with her to like make sure that she remembers her sister, or that she's not just some concept to her either.
Yeah, so in the first couple of months after losing Nora, Andy was very curious about a lot of
Mm.
things. So we have an urn
Yes.
for her, and I didn't realize that our urn is so extra until we decide to have this is a little morbid, but we had a dead kids play date at our group where everyone brought their ashes of their kids
That
for
is the
around
best.
Mother's Day.
That is the best.
And I didn't realize how extra our urn is until everyone else came with like these dainty little like really cute heart ones, and we have one that's for like a full-size human,
Oh,
and like and like 2 tablespoons of ashes in it. But we also
it's fine.
have the blanket that she was
Yeah.
in and her clothes and all of that stuff in it as
Yes.
well. But Andy would ask if she could see her ashes, and that's fine. So we
Yeah.
let her look at the ashes, and she's like, her body's all together here. I'm like, yes, it is. We have not explained cremation and probably will not for quite a while,
Yeah.
but we said that, we wanted to keep her home. We couldn't take her home the way she was born. So we had somebody turn her into ashes so we can always have her.
Yeah.
And that's how we explained that. We have a photo album, so all of the pictures that we got from Now I Lay Me Down to Sleep, we have in a photo album that's at her height, so she could take it and look at
Oh,
it anytime. The weighted bunny she
yes.
carries around, and she'll be like, "Oh, she's so
I
heavy."
know.
I'm
I
like,
was like, she
"Yeah,
was eight
I
pounds.
know." She's a big girl. Um, we also have pictures from when Andy was first born, like first picture of her out, and then one of Nora, and we have them hanging up
Yeah.
so next to each other. So, and she's just a regular part of our conversation of our lives. Part of the memorial that we did, we also made a big garden in the front of our
Oh.
house, and we have a tree there and a like a swinging outdoor bench,
Hmm.
and we'll go out there and talk about all of the different things that are out there. And we have a tall planter full of dirt
Hmm.
that we let be Andy's like play dirt.
Oh.
So that way
Uh-huh.
she could go out there and kind of like play in her
Play.
sister's area.
Yeah. That's
We
awesome.
really just talk about her.
She's very much
And
she's part of the family. Yeah.
yeah, and Andy, and like by herself without anyone telling her anything, she always draws Nora in our family pictures when
Yeah.
she draws pictures. Like and she will tell somebody like I'm a sister. I have a little sister. Like it's just part of her life.
Yeah.
No, we are starting play therapy with her next week, 2 weeks from now. Um, just she's still processing in the way that
Yeah.
as much as a 3-year-old can.
Exactly.
And we just want to make sure that she has another outlet besides her mom and dad
Yeah.
if there is anything that she needs.
Yeah. I just thought it was so sensitive that you guys, you had Nora at like 6:30 in the morning, and you wanted to make sure that you got home in time, not so you didn't want your daughter to think that your Nora was going to be coming home and have her think for sure it was happening, since you guys were you were gone for so long. I just thought that was so sweet to take into consideration Andy and what she might, her expectations and everything for that. And that's probably
I
really,
also needed a hug from her.
yeah,
If I'm
you
being
know,
honest, I really needed her.
yep, yep. Those little ones they are healing. So
Mhm.
Heather, these are a couple of questions I always ask, and I think you probably heard me ask them before, but what are some things that people did and say that was so helpful, and that you could recommend to others who are supporting families of loss?
I had one of my good friends. She came, or we were FaceTiming. She lives a little far away from me. And the first thing she said is, "Tell me about her."
Yeah,
And that's all that I wanted to hear, was not, "I'm sorry, how are you?" I don't know the answers to either one of those things, but I know I always want to talk about my kid.
yeah,
So to have somebody just really tell me about her,
yeah,
like, was really nice for her to be acknowledged outside of her death.
yeah. Because unfortunately, there's always this, people always associate something so sad because they passed away. And so, yes, to be able to talk about them
Mhm.
is really so great.
And also, at least my immediate family, Nora's a part of their lives too.
Mm-hmm.
A couple months after she passed, my dad was moving houses,
Mm-hmm.
and he sent me a video of, he put up like a big family tree and he put a framed picture of her on there.
Oh,
And it's just knowing that my family still is keeping her alive
yeah,
and in their everyday too. It's not just when they see us or when they're reminded, like she's up on someone on like her grandfather's wall in his house.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
She's part of the family.
yeah.
That's great. And on the flip side, are there things that you probably shouldn't say to a mother of loss, that, or anything that anybody did that you're like, maybe not the best thing to do?
Saying it wasn't meant to be, you
Yeah,
can have another one.
yeah,
You have to be strong for your daughter. I got that one. And then something else that came up with me was that I felt like people were tiptoeing
mm,
around me.
yeah,
And instead of just asking and letting me tell whether or not I was comfortable,
yeah,
it was already assumed. And it created like this false distance where they were thinking of us all the time, but I couldn't tell
yeah,
because nothing was being said.
yeah,
So there's a lot of power in just I'm thinking about you today.
yeah,
Or, hey, something happened and we're not quite, or like, you did something that I don't quite understand. Do you mind, like, just walking me through it? I want to understand.
yeah,
So, like, being curious rather than feeling like you need to have the right thing to say because there
yeah,
hardly ever is a right thing to say.
yeah. I I think you just said something that I was like, that is exactly what happens, is that people tiptoe around thinking that they're going to make you sad, or yeah. But you're right, they are thinking about you because they're trying to tiptoe around you.
Yeah,
But sometimes you just need to like talk about the elephant in the room, and that's okay. We're okay with that.
right.
So yeah, and we'll tell you if we're not doing okay, and that's fine too. So
Hmm.
I like that. Don't tiptoe around. Just, it's fine. It's gonna be fine.
Yeah. I would rather just be curious about what I'm thinking, like,
Hmm.
how something's showing up for me.
Yeah, yeah. I love that. Heather, this has been such a great conversation, and you had such great advice for those who are navigating this, as well as those who might be supporting them. Before we close up, I wanted to make sure that you were able to share everything that you wanted to. Is there any last advice you would give to those who are going through this, and then also some advice for those who are supporting someone going through this?
You find a support group or find community. If you're not a support group person, just find community.
Yeah.
We had our babysitter's mom reach out to us, and she lost her son at 37 weeks.
Oh,
And we have never met her before, but she came over and spent 4 hours with us. And
wow.
she said that when she lost her son, someone did that for her that she didn't know very well. She just wanted to, pay it forward as well. And it was so powerful to have someone just want to talk about their kid and just be part of the community with us.
Yeah.
And to also see that like she's okay and her kids are okay because they babysit my kid.
Yeah.
that that was, yeah, just find community. We're not alone in it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And no one truly understands, even from story to story.
Very different.
It's all different, but the heartbreak is similar. So
Yeah.
just finding that community. And then for people that are trying to support us, that one's tougher because everyone needs support in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
But I would just ask.
Yeah.
Don't assume. I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
So much gets lost in silence.
Yes. And the thoughts
That
in your head of like, oh yeah, yeah.
yes. So use I statements instead of you're doing this. Say like, oh, like I'm feeling like anything like that. But also ask what that person needs to feel supported. And if they don't know, then just be. You don't have to be doing something to provide support. Sometimes just that presence is enough.
That's beautiful. Yes, exactly. Heather, thank you again so much. This was so great and enlightening, and you spoke so well about certain things about grief. And I really appreciate it. Thank you so much again.
Thank you.